Today, I am reviewing the Ball EasyCanner electric water bath canner. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. I used to think that canning was a total nightmare, mostly because of the constant hovering over a boiling pot on a stove that never seemed to get hot enough. If you have ever spent an entire afternoon sweating over a burner, constantly checking the water level and praying the boil stays consistent, you know exactly what I am talking about. When I first heard about the Ball EasyCanner electric water bath canner, I was honestly skeptical. I have seen plenty of kitchen gadgets that promise to make life easier, but end up just being another bulky item taking up space in the pantry. After spending a few weeks putting this thing to the test with everything from pickles to jams, I have some very specific thoughts on whether or not this is actually worth the investment for your kitchen. Let's start with the elephant in the room, which is the sheer size of this unit. This is not a small appliance. If you have a tiny kitchen with very little counter space, you're going to feel the footprint of this machine immediately. It is a 21-quart capacity unit, which sounds impressive, and it is, but it takes up a significant amount of real estate. I found that I had to clear off a dedicated corner of my counter just to keep it accessible. However, the trade-off is that you are completely freeing up your stovetop. For anyone who has ever tried to cook dinner while simultaneously managing a water bath process, you know that the stovetop real estate is gold. Being able to plug this in on a side table or a separate counter is a massive quality of life improvement. If you want to see the current price or check out the dimensions for yourself, there is a link below the video where you can find all that information. The core technology here is what Ball calls their press and forget system. To be completely honest, I was worried that this would be one of those gimmicky digital interfaces that breaks after 3 uses. Surprisingly, it is actually quite intuitive. You load your jars, add the water, select your settings, and the machine handles the preheating and the processing time automatically. There is a real sense of relief when you press that button and know you do not have to stand there with a timer and a thermometer. The internal heat sensors are surprisingly accurate. I used a secondary probe thermometer to verify the temperature during my first run, and it held steady within a degree or 2 of what the unit claimed. That consistency is the biggest selling point for me. When you are canning, temperature fluctuations are the enemy, and this machine effectively eliminates that variable. Now, let's talk about the actual performance in a real-world setting. I processed 8 pints of bread and butter pickles, and the process was remarkably smooth. The unit takes a bit of time to get up to a boil, which is expected given the volume of water, but once it gets there, it stays there. The rack system inside is sturdy, and it makes lowering and lifting the jars out of the water much easier than using those awkward metal tongs on a traditional deep pot. One feature I really appreciated was the spigot on the front. Anyone who has ever tried to dump a massive pot of boiling water into a sink knows that it is a recipe for a burn. The drainage spigot allows you to empty the water safely once the processing is done. It drains a bit slowly, but the safety factor is worth the wait. You can find the link in the description below if you want to look at the specific design of the drain and the handle grips. However, there are definitely some downsides that you need to be aware of before you drop the money on this. First, the pot itself is hand wash only. I know, we all hate hand washing large items, but it is necessary here because of the electronic components and the heating element interface. The base is detachable and dishwasher safe, which is a nice touch, but the main vessel is going to require some elbow grease. Also, if you are someone who does a massive amount of canning all at once, like a commercial-level hobbyist, you might find that the capacity is a limiting factor. 7 quarts or 8 pints is a decent amount for a household, but if you are processing hundreds of pounds of tomatoes, you will still be spending a good portion of your day running cycles. It is not a magic wand that turns a 10-hour job into a 10-minute job. It just makes the 10-hour job much less stressful. I also want to touch on the multicooker functionality. Ball markets this as an all-in-one appliance that can do soups, pastas, and seafood. While it is technically true, I found myself mostly using it for canning. Using a 21-quart vessel to boil a small amount of pasta feels like overkill, and the cleaning process for a large, deep pot is a bit of a chore compared to just using a standard stock pot. It is a nice bonus if you're short on kitchen gear, but I wouldn't buy this as your primary soup pot. It is a canning machine first and foremost, and that is where its engineering shines. If you are looking for a dedicated multi-cooker, there are other options on the market that are better suited for daily cooking. But for the canning enthusiast, the fact that it doubles as a steamer is a nice-to-have feature that might save you from buying a separate steamer basket or pot. One thing that might disappoint some users is the build quality of the plastic components. While the pot itself feels solid and the heating element is reliable, some of the dials and the plastic casing feel a bit cheaper than I would have liked at this price point. It is not flimsy, but it does not have that heavy-duty, industrial feel that some of the older, vintage canning equipment had. I would suggest being gentle with the lid and the control panel. Over time, I can see the plastic around the buttons showing somewhere if you are not careful. If you are the type of person who is rough on your appliances, you might want to consider where you store it so it doesn't get banged around. Again, you can check the links below the video to see the current pricing and decide if the build quality aligns with your expectations for the cost. Another practical point to consider is the power draw. This unit uses a fair amount of electricity. If you are plugging it into an older kitchen circuit that is already running a refrigerator and a coffee maker, you might trip a breaker. I made sure to plug mine into a dedicated outlet on a separate circuit, and I would highly recommend you do the same. It is a high wattage appliance, and it stays on for a long time during the processing phase. It is not going to ruin your electric bill, but it is something to keep in mind if you live in an older home with limited electrical capacity. So, who is this actually for? If you are a beginner who finds the stovetop method intimidating, this is a game changer. It removes the fear of underprocessing or burning your product because you weren't watching the temperature. If you are an experienced canner who is tired of the physical toll of lifting heavy pots and the mental toll of monitoring the stove, this is a luxury that I think is worth every penny. You are essentially paying for the convenience of being able to walk away from your project. You can prep your next batch of jars while the machine handles the current one, which significantly increases your overall efficiency. On the other hand, who should avoid this? If you are a minimalist who hates clutter, this will drive you crazy. It is a big box that sits on your counter. Even if you store it away, you need a large cabinet to house it. If you only can once a year, or if you only do 1 or 2 jars at a time, the traditional stovetop method is perfectly fine and significantly cheaper. This is an investment for someone who makes canning a part of their seasonal routine. Also, if you are looking to do pressure canning for low-acid foods like meats or green beans, you need to remember that this is a water bath canner. It cannot do pressure canning. I have seen some confusion about this in reviews, and I want to be crystal clear. This does not replace a pressure canner. If you try to use this for low-acid foods that require pressure, you're going to be disappointed and potentially unsafe. When it comes to value, I think the Ball EasyCanner sits in a middle ground. It is not an entry-level price, but it is not a professional-grade commercial unit either. You're paying for the brand name, the safety features, and the ease of use. If you value your time and the peace of mind that comes with consistent results, the value is high. If you are looking for the cheapest way to put food in jars, this is not it. You can buy a stainless steel pot for a fraction of the cost. But for me, the ability to set it and forget it is worth the premium. I have saved countless hours of standing in my kitchen, and for that alone, I find it to be a staple in my workflow now. I also want to mention the manual that comes with it. It is actually quite helpful. Ball has been in the canning game for a long time, and the instructions are straightforward and easy to follow. They include a few recipes to get you started, which is a nice touch if you are just learning the ropes. The interface is not overly complicated, and even if you are not tech-savvy, you'll be able to figure it out in about 2 minutes. The audible alerts are loud enough to hear from another room, which is a nice feature if you're doing chores while the machine is running. To wrap things up, my experience with the Ball EasyCanner has been mostly positive. It delivers on its main promise, which is to make water bath canning easier and more consistent. It has its flaws. It is bulky, it requires hand washing, and it is a significant financial investment, but the benefits of not having to babysit a boiling pot are hard to overstate. It has made me more likely to can throughout the season because the barrier to entry for starting a session is so much lower. I don't dread the process anymore. If you are on the fence, I suggest thinking about how much time you spend on canning and whether that time is worth the cost of the unit. You can explore the product further or check the current price through the links provided below the video. It is a solid piece of equipment, and if you take care of it, it should last for quite a few canning seasons. Just remember to keep your kitchen circuit in mind and make sure you have the space to store it before you commit. It is a specialized tool, but for the right person, it is absolutely essential.